I am making another liquid soap. This is a 30-minute hot process liquid soap. That means that within 30 minutes from my starting the stick blending to 30 minutes later, it should be just about done. Now, sometimes this doesn't work out for me, and that's okay. If it doesn't work out and I take longer than 30 minutes, I'm okay with that, because I would rather it take longer and make my life easier. Does that make sense? I'm not going to be smashing the paste and trying to get it to dissolve. I'm not going to be fighting the heat and off the heat and on the heat. If I just let it sit for a day or two, it usually will dissolve. Sometimes I add a little water, let it set another day or so, the paste will dissolve. I am a no stress, no physical activity really liquid soap maker. This is from the Ultimate Guide to Liquid Soap Making ebook that I bought. So I will not be sharing with you my recipe or their recipe. I did email them 2 or 3 years ago and ask if I could, and they said yes, feel free. And I linked the ebook in my description box along with the discount code. Now, I think that that discount code is still active, so I am still going to link this book in my description box along with the discount code that they had given me a couple years ago, and hopefully it can save you a little bit of money if it is still active. Now, this book is a beast of information. I had to read this book multiple times to wrap my head around some of the chemistry or science of this liquid soap. I really wanted to kind of learn the basics. That will help you because this is so full of that information. But it also has a lot of recipes. At least it did when I bought it. I've had ebooks change from when I bought them until you buy them, you know, after I talk about them. So I don't want to promise anything, but there were a lot of recipes in that book. I basically take those recipes and tweak them to my own desires, and that's what I've done. I've never really just like sat down and developed my own recipe. This is my oils. I'm going to get very hot in the microwave. It takes too long to get those to temp in the crock pot. This is 30-minute hot process, so everything has to be hot to get us going. So I'm going to get these in the microwave and really heat them up and try to get them at least over 200 degrees. I just wanted to show you that I am using red palm oil for this soap. Now this will give us a beautiful orangey tint to the soap. This is organic, but I don't know if it's fair trade. I will link this down below if you're interested. I have been wanting to make a cold process soap with that for a long time, and I just have never done that either. So there's a little palm oil left in there. I may do that, or I may save it for the next time that this customer that purchased this orders another custom bulk. She buys it in bulk, this particular recipe. My oils are right around 220. I have had my crock pot over here on high with the crock out of it. So I'm going to put this in here. Now I don't know if you'll be able to tell, there is soap in here because I just got done making liquid soap and I want there to be some soap. I'm using the spatula from my previous batch and I'm using the soap that's kind of left over in the crock. That's important when you're doing a 30-minute process. Look how beautiful this soap is, or these oils. I just love this so much. I think it's so pretty. I'm going to move a little quick right now. I'm going to put some sodium lactate in here. And I'm going to put my sugar in here. The sugar's not going to dissolve. It's not oil dissolvable. But it's mixed in and it's ready to go when I'm ready. So I'm going to get my glasses on. And this is my lye water and some glycerin. Here's my lye, and I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed in. Kind of slow, just because this is going to heat up. And the potassium, this has a dual lye, by the way. So there's sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. I'm going to get this up a little bit quicker just because I want this to get good and hot and start dissolving that potassium. I think it's very much more difficult to dissolve than sodium hydroxide. I've been kind of having fun this weekend making, and last week, I guess, through the week. This is Sunday evening. And I made a batch on Thursday. I made a batch on Friday. Those were glycerin method soaps. And now I'm doing this soap. This is getting hot. Let's see how hot it's getting. 179, so it's not horrible. When I add my oils in here, they drop in temperature. So they were 220 when I put them in there. Let's see, 154. They always drop. It does not matter what I do. I cannot get my oils to be hot enough. And a lot of times that is why my soap takes a little bit longer sometimes. But again, I don't care about that kind of stuff. Definitely wear your rubber gloves for this because we are dealing with very hot liquids. And your just medical gloves aren't going to cut it. This is now 217. Let me look at my notes here, make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I think everything is dissolved. So I'm going to add this to my oils just like that. Let me see if I can pull this over, maybe turn the camera a little bit. This cord is not very long. And I'm immediately going to go in with this stick blender. And this crock pot is a little too big for this batch, but I just have to tip it a little bit. I'll try to tip it to where you can see. I'm going to set the timer for 3 to 5 minutes. I'll just start with 5 and see where we're at, and we'll watch it change. Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes. It's getting thicker. Kind of applesauce-y stage right now. It's lightening in color again, and look how it's loosening up a bit. And that is what we want. It's nice and loose again. I've got some bubbles flying. We're done. Alexa, how much time is left on the timer?
You have 40 seconds left on your 5-minute timer.
So there was 40 seconds left on that 5-minute timer. So that took us about 4 minutes to get through all of our stages. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, so I'm going to cook it. So start to finish so far, 5 minutes. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let this cook just for like 3 to 5 minutes or so. I'm going to come back when that is done cooking and we'll go from there. Let's just take a look at it. Looks pretty good. Starting to clear up on the bottom a little bit. That's what we're looking for. All right, I'm going to go ahead and test the pH. It's pretty thick. It's already starting to want to turn into paste though. So I think I'm going to see about diluting it in some of my, see how it's turning into paste and it's translucent. I put my dilution water back in the microwave and I've been keeping it covered with this old apron of mine. But I do want to put like just a little bit of water and see if I can get this to melt a little bit in this hot water. It doesn't look like it's going to. So I've had people question why you would want to put water, dilute a product like a cream or anything when you're doing a pH test. Water has a neutral pH, so it will make your thing you're testing a liquid without affecting the final pH at all. So that's why, and if I was using my big Apria, pH meter, I wouldn't want to gunk up my sensor, so I would always dilute it. This is right between a 10 and 11. That's about normal. 10 and a half, pretty good. I'm calling this done. It's also very clear, so the clarity test is passed. The pH is passed. It seems high, but that's completely normal. So I'm going to add in just half of my water here and see what I can do. This is the part where I am low stress. Some people would fight this and take a potato masher to it and do all this stuff to try to, rush this along. This part, I am completely okay walking away from this and just letting it go. So I'm going to get this mixed in. See, it's wanting to paste up on me. I'm not fighting this paste. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this in here. But I'm just going to walk away. It will dissolve on its own, whether that takes 12 hours or 24 hours. Doesn't matter to me. I'm going to leave it on low. And I'm going to come back down here maybe before I go to bed just to give it a stir. Maybe once or twice before I go to bed, I'll come down here and give it a stir. So I will turn it off and just let it sit overnight in the crock with the lid on, and I'll address it again tomorrow. All right, it's been sitting here quietly for a couple days. I think this is lovely. It's a little bit fluid. I'm trying to remember. I don't have it on my notes. I don't think I had to add Crowthix to this, which is my preferred method of thickening this. I don't know that you can really see anything here either. But I am going to go ahead and put my essential oil blend in here. So this is part of it. I had to do it in 2 pots. Look how that affects that. And this is the other. So this is 100%. I'm not splitting this off clearly for any other scents. And this is done. Other than I may need to thicken it. I think it needs to be a little bit thicker. This will clear up. This is going to become completely clear. And I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and kind of almost decant this into a pitcher. So I have 85 ounces of my soap. I'm going to let this sit on the back counter for a few days and let everything kind of meld and then see how thick it is, because once it's sat for a little while, it'll get completely clear. I don't know if you can see how cloudy that is. Little rubbing alcohol. You can kind of see how cloudy that is. I'm just going to let it sit for a few days, clear off, and get a better feel for how thick it is and if I need to add thickener. It has been maybe a week since I left you, and I don't remember actually right now where I left you at, but I do have my Sunset liquid soap base all poured into this one pitcher, and I do have 85 ounces in here. It is viscous, but not as thick as I would like. I have right around 2.5 to 3 ounces of my Thicks left, so I'm going to add 1%. So you can go all the way up, I think, to 5%. I've never really gone that high before. Usually I'm 1 to 2. But I'm hoping not to have to go very high because I have more soap that I am going to have to thicken as well. So hopefully I have enough to go around to all of it. Okay, 0.85 ounces. So let's get that off of my scale and stir this in. I also think that this takes maybe 10 or 20 minutes to kind of activate. I am going to be just letting this sit. It clouded up just a little bit, but it'll clear right back up. That's fine. So I'm going to let this set for about 10 minutes. I'm going to take my spatula out though because it does tend to stain. I already stained the spatula a little bit with this. 10 or 15 minutes, maybe a half an hour, whenever basically I can get back to it. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm going to keep it covered to keep it clean. All right, let's check out the Thicks. Oh, this is much better. Much better. Ooh, you know what? It's kind of on the bottom of the jug. And even with that, it's much better. So I'm going to stir this. I did not realize that it would sink like that. I want to, you know what? I think heating it will help because it just needs to get mixed in there. So I'm going to throw this in the microwave maybe for a minute or two because it's so big. I'm going to go ahead and add another 1%, which is another 8.85 ounces. I just think it needs to be a little bit thicker since it is going in one of those pump thingies. All right, that's 2% of Thicks. I think that'll be better. And then I may heat this just a little bit more just to make sure that gets nice and mixed in. And then I will come back when I figure out how I'm going to package this for her, see how many she wants, how much of this she wants. I don't put these in individual bottles, or it's been a while since she's ordered, so I don't think she needs individual bottles. She was just refilling. Let me figure things out and then I'll come back. I found my containers finally. That took way too long. It's what happens when you clean and organize. You don't remember where you put things. That was me. I'm going to just go ahead and fill both of these up. But look, in the meantime, look how nice and thick that is. Can you see how thick it is? It's a really nice consistency. Now, some people would want it thicker, but I'm pretty happy with it like it is. Let's see here. Now I may just fill these two up and then, I don't know if I've already said this, but bottle up whatever's left over to sell, if there's any left over. Let me make sure these are the same weight. They are. That is 39 almost ounces. There we go, 39. Let me fill this up just a little bit more and bring that up to 39. 39.3. I don't think I should force it, but maybe just 2.5. Just there, 39.5. Very full. Make myself a little note on them. I'm going to use this like natural bottle to put the rest of this in. I only have a few of these black pumps left. I've gone to white on everything. There for a while I was doing all black on all my tops. I don't know, maybe 2 years ago I switched over to white. Clearly I don't use a lot of these types of tops, but it is exciting that I can be done with them. Look at that. 5.4. Okay, so I'm going to get in my software, see how much all of this is costing me, what I'm going to charge her. All right, isn't that a pretty color? Then I need to label everything. So I will bring you back when all of that is done. There you go, my Sunset liquid soap making. This was a 30-minute process liquid soap. Sometimes it takes me 30 minutes, sometimes it takes me 2 days, and I'm just okay with whatever the process brings me. I don't stress over how long it takes me to make a soap. And really, it's not a goal of mine to make it in 30 minutes because I don't care how long it takes me. If I have to walk away for a few days and just put it on my back counter, it's not hurting me at all. It's fine. Maybe if I sold liquid soaps and I had to make them every week, I would care. But I make them once or twice a year, so I don't really care, guys. So there you go. It's been like a couple months since I've made it, and I'm not sure at this moment how long this one actually took me. But here's my big jug that I sell to my customer that she orders this once a year or so, and this gets her through a year because she uses it pretty sparingly. But this is available for her and ready to go the next time she wants to purchase it. I don't remember where I got this jug out. I honestly don't remember. I think it's a 32-ounce jug, you know, size-wise. But I can get almost 40 ounces in it. So this is what she picked up, and I have this on my shelf for the next time that she wants to order. And I had 1 bottle left. I don't think I'm going to mess with putting this on my website. I may just use it or do it as a gift. This scent... This scent, I just can never make up my mind if I really, really like the scent or if I really just, it's okay. Today, I really, really like it. I mean, I change all the time, but I really do think it's a very pretty soap. It's mostly clear. This is a frosted bottle, so it's kind of hard to tell how clear it is or not. Not something I usually worry about too much if it's a little cloudy. Like this one's a little cloudy. I actually, let me find, oh, this one is a little bit cloudy. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. I think it's pretty. I think it has a very creamy look to it. I don't mind a little bit of a cloudiness to my liquid soap, so. But anyway, I think it's clear. I think it's just the bottle that's making it look a little cloudy and opaque. But there we go. I don't know what order I'm doing all of these liquid soaps in. I've made 3. I have 1 more to make. I think this one is the second one. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I just don't know yet. I will link the Ultimate Guide to Liquid Soap down in my description box below. I would highly recommend that ebook, especially if you really want to dive into the science behind liquid soap and the ability to create your own soaps. I'm more interested in all of the recipes that were in the back, truth be told. But it has very much helped me understand the why of something, or, you know, oil selections, or, you know, these different things that we do and choose. You know, I want my next batch to be a little bit higher lather. I'm going to go to that book and I'm going to find out what I can do to make this other batch better lather. So that it's a great resource all around for liquid soaps. So anyway, wanted to share a little bit more about that. I'm not sure if I spoke on that too much earlier. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend and week and all that good stuff. I don't know what I'm saying. I thank you so much for being here. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't. Subscribe and comment. And then most importantly, stay tuned to next week.